And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, Rebecca and Davey here. Today we're going to talk about one of the biggest topics that's important to us, being divorced, dating, and what the heck you do with all these kids who are running around. This is something that before Davey and I introduced each other to the kids, he spent hours watching YouTube videos about. And so do you mind to introduce kind of why this video is specifically so important to you?
Yeah, again, I think we, to this point, we've covered, all the adults in the room. And this is one of the most sensitive subjects about, okay, I'm divorced. I'm going to date. I've dealt with the fact that some people hate me now, friends and family, and now I'm dating. And what does that mean to the kids that I have? Both my children, but if the other person I'm dating has kids too. And this is something that kept me up at night. Not only before we met, but as I, even in my mind and even with my ex, thought, all right, can we at least make sure that when the other person dates, that the other person has access, right? Mm-hmm. And so I knew there was going to be a time in which I was going to meet somebody and fall in love. Right. And at some point, there's a progression here in timing. You date, then you date, and you say, I'm going to let the kids know. But the other one, which we've gone through now, is this isn't just somebody I'm dating. This is somebody who you'll call stepmom, mom, dad someday.
There are relationships where you have to see that person around your kids before you know if it's a mesh.
Correct.
Maybe they say they're good with kids, but you got to see it first.
It may be part of the dating process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it is.
Hey, absolutely. Hey, you seem great. I want to see you around my kids. I want to see you around your kids.
This is like your 90-day on-the-job training.
Exactly.
How are you Saturday mornings when one's throwing up and the other one is blaring Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, it's at a company when they're like, hey, we're going to hire you, but you're on probation for the first 6 months. We can fire you at will. Yeah, this is important. And you mentioned the YouTube videos, and it was not only that, but it was also conversations with my therapist directly. My children were going through a play therapist there as well, and as much research as I could find, because even before you talk about parenting issues, what you have to make sure that you're doing is reestablishing your relationship with your children first on your own. And if you didn't have, because of whatever exigent circumstances in your relationship, right? You didn't have the greatest relationship or an ideal relationship or the one you wanted with your kids, you better damn sure make sure that you prioritize your relationship with your children before you introduce them to a boyfriend or girlfriend.
And I'm going to pause even there, because sometimes when you're divorced, you're like, oh my gosh, well, 50% of the time, all my energy is focused on them. So when I'm not with them, I'm going to focus on dating. But where you go wrong with that is then, and you and I have both done it, we've seen people do it. When you date, what I tell people is, this is like business advice too. You only have so much energy in a day. And let's say you have this much energy, and you give your energy to work and you give your energy to the kids. You have about this much energy left. And if you use it on dating, that's fine. But what if your kids need more energy here? And where I see people really drop the ball is they're only having their kids for half the time, but they started dating and it's exciting. They're staying up till 3 a.m. talking to boyfriend A on the phone. They get their kids back at 9 a.m. and they're not the best version of themselves, and their kids maybe need more from them. And that's only something that you can tell if you're actually ready for that. Can you set the boundaries, or are you so desperate for love that you're going to give your energy to something that doesn't deserve your energy yet?
Yeah. I think making sure you have the ideal relationship with your kids and your head's on straight is very important before you even ask yourself, all right, I'm going to date somebody, and I've been dating them long enough that your son goes, hey, mommy, who do you talk to late at night? And then you have to have a discussion, or, if they do hang out, if they do have other kids. But as you get back to those resources you were talking about, one of the things that as you start to think about that, if you have kids and you're going to introduce that adult to your kids, all of the studies talk about how that person should never come in and start parenting right away.
Right.
Even if they are the gold star parent of the world in their own right. Number one goal with children early on is, if there's an introduction, and this is something you got to believe if you're bringing the adult in, can this person establish trust with my children? Or if you're the person, can I establish trust? Mm-hmm. Do you intentionally try to establish trust? That person, that child, will immediately not trust that new person, that intruder. They will automatically and naturally believe, whether they're told this by the ex or not, they'll think, this is the reason why my mom is not.
Yes.
And so
this is why my other parent has been so distraught, because this parent who's now started dating had somebody, and even from a young age, our first graders come in and use phrases like so-and-so cheated on so-and-so on the playground. And kids know that when you're a couple, it's the two of you. And they've only ever seen mommy and daddy as this. So when they see somebody new, it will feel like betrayal to the child.
And that child may act out. That child may, in an attempt to remain loyal to their other parent, they may act out. Not just while the dater or the boyfriend or girlfriend is around, in moments where you just have the children on their own.
Right.
And they're mad because you've introduced someone and you've tried to replace their dad or you've tried to replace their mom. So the introduction of children in dating is something that you have to be absolutely scientifically intentional about your study, your timing, consulting with mental health professionals, and making sure that you trust this person and you've given yourself some runway or some intentional things that you're going to do to make sure that you're going to security check them or vet them. It's like, hey,
right.
if you're going to fall in love, I told a friend this the other day, again, somebody that asked, are we ready? I said, if you're gonna trade speed, if you want to say, hey, I don't want to wait, I love this person, I'm attracted to this person, I want to move forward, fine. What you have to get back in return is transparency.
Absolutely. Right.
Okay, we're gonna move faster than we thought. I got a lot of questions, and we might need to sit up until 3:00 in the morning and ask these questions, and you might need to verify what kind of person you are. And that was our, and I share that because that was our method.
Sure.
Is that, like you said, you were no longer going to have any secrets in the world with anyone. And that meant all of the worst and ugliest things that you had done and that I had done, we bore our soul to each other. And that, if you're going to move quickly and get this person to meeting your kids,
right,
you better have ran the deepest levels of gut checks, heart checks, and legal and financial checks.
Absolutely. Right. Right.
Like, how you look up my house and tried to estimate.
I did. Yeah. Before I came to your house, I got the address. I looked up how much it would be worth. I found how much of a mortgage you had left. Make sure we weren't pulling out crazy HELOCs. I mean, truly, I wanted to know, because not just for me, but also for my kids, like, is this person in a stable, safe environment that I could see myself bringing kids into? Because one thing that I was sure I didn't want before I found you is I'm like, I will not date someone who has kids. I won't make my kids have step siblings. I won't make this person take away the attention and the love that my kids are going to need. I don't want to do it. It's too many. That was one of my things, right? Now I got stuck with you, but
try to imagine our lives without our children interacting.
One of the times that it was the most clear to me, and I don't know if you remember this, we did meet each other's children really early because we already knew each other.
Yeah.
But like introduced as this is a girlfriend figure. So Elijah comes in the door from, I think we'd gone and picked him up together. You got him and I was here when you brought him home. And he walks in the door and throws up everywhere, all over the rug, all over his shoes. And you and I both go into parent mode, right? Like I'm stripping him off, you're cleaning it up. And I think we both looked at each other like, this is exactly what we thought it was going to be. Yeah. This is what it feels like to have a partner who is just my person. And that's one of the times that it really flipped for me and going like, this is going to be okay.
Yep. Yeah. No, I sensed that early. I always tell you that, and I told Georgia this the other day. I said, how I watched your mom comfort you when you skinned your knee, but also tell you to get back up and keep playing was mine. And that was when I saw that this was the partner and the woman that my boys needed to see.
Right.
It was that moment for me.
Right. And so you have an opportunity with dating. And again, I think I want to get back to a few more mental health tip things as far as like introducing kids, what the video was that we wish we would have seen. But it's one of the most beautiful things. And when we hear people who are like very committed in a relationship, but they're waiting too long to introduce the other person, we have a lot of opinions on that as well because of how much we fell in love with each other watching. I can't imagine only dating the non-dad version of you. Because if you date someone with kids, and this is like a public service announcement, if you date someone with kids, the kids are going to be part of your life together. So what if I only loved the version of you that took me on all those cool trips in the beginning, right? I needed to see you as a dad and a father figure to my kids.
You needed to see the full depth of the character. Absolutely. And that's, again, when you want to move forward with somebody and date, maybe you don't want to go as far as we did and as quick as we did, but maybe you just want to introduce the kids the first time. Hey guys, we're going to meet at the park. The kids are going to be there. The other adult's going to come, whether they have kids or not. Hang out with us at the park for a little bit. We're just going to test it out. You better to that point have said, I don't know you that well, but you've at least opened your heart and allowed me to ask a million questions and have my mom meet you or my friends meet you, right? If you can trade that speed for transparency, I think there's a good formula where you can offset them two together.
Absolutely. And if I remember right, when you and I got the kids together for the first time, did tell the kids really early on. Again, they knew each other from school, but we told the kids.
I'll tell that story.
Yeah, tell that story because I think stories are
We
helpful.
did several play dates before the kids finally caught on, like, we're having the same play date pretty regularly.
But this is, to our defense, the boys, our oldest, were in school together. They knew each other already. So it was like, hey, we're going to have a play date with David. Oh, we're going to have a play date with Lincoln.
Again.
Right.
And then, so we got to a point where it was obvious. And so we said, all right, guys, just want to let you know, we are dating each other. You could call it dating.
This is my boyfriend. This is my girlfriend.
Say that. And the next question we got from them is, are you getting married? And the next question was, are you guys going to have a baby?
All in the set. They're all sitting on the bed. Are you going to have a baby? Are you getting married? Is this my stepbrother? And we're like, well, obviously we are.
Wild.
We just looked at each other.
Wild story. But again, a consideration that when you do make the introduction of the first boyfriend the first time, the first girlfriend the first time, that's where the kid's head goes. And
we asked, I'm sure we did, because this is just our format. What questions do you guys have? Hey, and we sat everybody down together. Hey, we want to let you all know that we are dating. This is my boyfriend. This is my girlfriend. You won't be meeting anybody else. We're not going on dates with anybody else. Not getting married tomorrow. But what questions do you guys have? And opening it up to kids, because in divorce, there's a lot of things that they can't control. And who mom and dad date is one of those. Yep. And so making sure that they know that they have no say in that game. It's important for a couple of reasons. And the first one, I think Davey can talk about even better than I can. Explain the fact that the kids it's not a kid topic who mom and dad date, because if it goes well or it goes bad, I don't want that on them. It's not a committee decision. And that's what's tough, is that the kids are going to have some investment in the relationship. Sure. I mean, like 50% of their lives. Well, and they may see it too. They may be the extension of your family or your friends who saw you unhappy. And I want to leave open space for the idea that the children may be like, this is great you're dating someone, Mom. It's so nice to see you happy every day. And what I heard in our children is something that you can also prepare for. If you've done a lot of really good and intentional work to this point, is when they asked if we were going to get married and have a child, it was because there was some little element of excitement for them. Because David and I were friends and now we get to be stepbrothers. That seems a built-in play date all the time. And let's keep in mind too, we've done a good job up until this point when we pitch it to them of having the coolest play dates and park dates and ice cream and swim parties. Like everything that we had done had been like this picturesque life. So no wonder they wanted it, right. You know? And there were plenty, and there continues to be challenges. Sibling rivalries. Oh gosh, right. That'll be an episode soon. Right. But the idea here is that this whole experience from the beginning to the end, from the first date all the way to we're moving in and becoming step siblings, you got to stay alive the whole time with your mental health. You got to stay alive with your trust. You got to, when you finally do break through some barriers and you get the chance to build a relationship with the other children that live in the same house that are not yours, make sure you address them at eye level and with a slow and soft tone, because their entire existence around you as this new person that's with their mom or with their dad is going to be weird. And so you got to give them space, and you got to show up flat so they can have their emotions, whether that's mad, sad, angry, happy, silly, crazy, anxious, excited, anything. It's just so important. This whole thing about dating with children, you got to study it. You got to listen to it, and you got to talk to somebody. Get a therapist, get a therapist, get a therapist. Because one of the things that we talk about too is like every kids process things differently at different ages. And if you haven't done much mental health study, you don't know that. But in the same way that your body matures, your mental and your emotions mature. And so you're going to explain dating to a 7-year-old much different than a 12-year-old, than a 16-year-old. And one thing that Davey did great with my kids really early on is sat them down and directly said, hey guys, I love your mom a lot. It's my intention to be in her life for a really long time. I will never replace your dad. That's not my goal. Like, you had a talking point, and it was about 30 seconds of directly at each kid. And you had to say that multiple times. And even sometimes now it doesn't sink in, because the kids, especially if there is a bad divorce, they may feel already put in the middle of some things that they shouldn't. And so when they're introduced to the new partner, they feel like they have to go to bat for mommy or daddy. And that's a natural feeling. Yeah. And I have to walk this tightrope. Hey,
I'm not your father. I'm not trying to be your father. Like, let's say there's a parenting disagreement. Hey, you can't hit that kid. Hey, one kid won. Don't hit kid two. You're not my dad. That's right. I'm not your dad, but we have rules in this house.
Safety.
And
I'm an adult,
right.
and adults keep kids safe.
Or one yells shut up at the other one. Hey, can't do that. You're not my dad. That's okay. I don't have to be your dad to tell you that's not going to work here.
Right.
And that's training and practice that it took for me to get to that point, as opposed to talk to them like it's my kid. And we're like, listen, you don't do that. Go to your room.
Sure, right.
It's a different dynamic. And if you're not intentional, you're going to hurt some kids' hearts. You're going to hurt their minds and hurt their hearts. And you're going to damage what could be a really beautiful relationship.
Yeah. And I won't think we should leave everybody with this as far as what did your therapist tell you about, what was his phrasing that he always told you?
In these moments where I'm sitting in front of my therapist and seeking counsel and asking like, hey, what am I supposed to do here? What am I supposed to do? He always said, hey, the fact that you're here right now, that you're asking for help tells me something really big, that you're a good man and you're a good father, and you're a good person, and you're going to know what to do. And that's the thing I'd always tell people is if you're at this point where you've even watching
you're 10 minutes into a YouTube video.
Some of our content, you're on the right track. You have a good heart and you're going to know what to do. So just do it. You'll be okay.
Well done.